Hello and welcome. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. And tonight, well, it is the episode that we are recording and that you can only see if you go on YouTube. So, what else can I say? This is Dungeons and Dragon, just in case that you're not used to watching it on YouTube. Alright. So, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, that's ambient picture. If you like the battle map, don't need that right now. If you like the battle map, that's Dungeon Alchemist, the world map, WonderDraft, and the town maps. Canvas of King. Wow, why is everything so difficult to name tonight? Why am I so confused? Alright. Guess it's one of those days. Alright, so what happened last episode? In case you did not see it. Oh, don't need this thunderstorm in the back. So, last episode. The party finished their final preparation for their assault on the mage tower of the Misty Isle. All components were gathered to create an anti-magic bomb. All allies were summoned to create an army, and fellow heroes were hired to gain an extra edge. Our heroes gathered their fleet of flying ships and left for the island chain. The voyage was uneventful, however. More and more signs appeared in the sky, reminding them of the looming threat. One trophy was lost, and the enemy has been planning for a long while. Who is hunting who? So, when we left off, you had just arrived over the Misty Isles. You haven't crossed the barrier yet. It is still there in front of you, but you have already planned because you are in range with Colin, taking the old orb, linking you all as a group. You were able to call him and start planning for what's going to happen inside. You made a plan with Sarn so that he would try and whoa, I'm so sorry. He would try and recruit, or at least calm, the sea serpent around the isle. Well, do I still have the old map? Could be interesting. Putting up the old map of this island chain. Do I still have that old map? That's... I actually have it. Now, granted that this is going to be a little bit... There's going to be definition missing because, you can't do miracle. Not yet. just not a high level priest enough. But at least you're gonna get an image that can be interesting to look at for planning. Come on. All right. And there we go. We have this, and for my players here, what is it again? Oh yeah, share screen. I have to open that for the program to pick it up. That's not the one that I asked for. Oh, geez. I said this one. All right. Well, at least you have something to look at. Makes a lot of noise. All right. Oh, all the cameras have been... hold on. I need to put... Here we go. Everyone's back. So, now you have... At least you have some sort of map. It's not very good on Discord. Well, anyways. You have what's important. Why did I do that? I can just do that. Can just put it in Discord chat. No, yeah, you don't need it here. You don't need to move on it. All right. At least you have the map if you want to plan anything. I'm so sorry. I sound so disorganized tonight. I'm not, but I'm a bit lost. All right. So, these are the islands. You are currently just outside of the perimeter of all the small islands. Form a circle around it. This is where the barrier is. You've been able to reach Colin. You've been able to prepare a meeting. On Losal, the island to the right. A bit isolated. But you'll be able to at least start planning for something. Anything else you want to prepare before going down? Because you know that once you are inside, you essentially need to finish this thing before you can actually get out. You know that Sachet is going to meet you in Losal. There's already a place that's been discussed. Sarn is going to leave the ship a few moments after you enter the atmosphere of this place. And you're going to meet not the rebels, but part of the population who has decided to help you.
We have the gear that we were having made. We have the anti-magic thing?
Yes, this
Yeah.
has been completed during the voyage here. Probably completed 5 or 6 days ago.
We have Krill, right?
Still basking in the energy of the earthen crystal up to the very last moment that you will allow him, but he is conscious and getting stronger.
Hmm. Sorry, did we grab that? Is he doing that on the ship?
He is on the siege breaker, which for
Okay.
now, because you weren't there, and since you're the captain of the siege breaker, and no name has been given, and no one wanted to give it a name because they think it's yours, right now it's being called the Flying Fish by the crew.
Hell yeah. I'm down with that.
All right. He is on board the Flying Fish and regenerating as best he can in a room that has been fully converted just for him or it.
Um, did I mean I think that's everything we want to do outside.
All right. Audience and Remy, you agree with that statement?
Yes, I would say Fisher because you weren't here. I'd also say however many we purchased potions, but we didn't know what you would want. So if you wanted to update your potions for this, just take that gold out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
If you
yeah.
want potions.
By the way, you did win at least one of the participants in your bet uh, paid off, so you do have 15,000 gold that you can share amongst all of you.
That's okay.
And did we communicate with my siblings at all?
No, we just know that they're down there to meet us with Sachet.
Okay. They're with okay.
But they're with Sachet, yeah.
All right.
Well, at least Smalgam is.
Oh, wonderful.
You're not sure about the others.
I assume. Well, she's just been saying I've been traveling with the family the whole time, so I assume they're there.
No, no, they are traveling together, but she mentioned that Malgam is a
Yeah,
bit more loyal in his desire to follow her everywhere. So they may not all be at the meeting, but they are there. That's a good point. I should probably get out the list of all your family members. Mm-hmm. Um, okay. Ship Noble Fisher's family. Here we go. All right. So, anything else before you go inside?
I don't think so.
All right. So you start going down. only few ships are entering, and this place used to be a penal colony. So, oh no, come on, don't do this. Okay, good. Hate it when the screen does that. So there are places where you can actually get inside. Unfortunately, they're kind of watched. So you have to be a bit creative. But thanks to the information that you brought back, you do enter the island near one of the small islands. The one that is completely to the right, the furthest one. So you appear behind the mountain chain on the northern region of Losal. There, you only have to travel for a few moments before you actually find yourself on the other side of the island chain. Okay. Well, you know. Community living. So, for people watching, this is probably a more interesting way of, come on, don't be mean. Of course. The map needs to be lower than that on the priority list for a dot to appear. Hold on. Here you go. Okay. So, for those watching, this is the place where our friend appear on the map. Then they move over the mountain and inside of the island chain, meaning that they reach probably 10 miles up the little town that's over there. It's a little bit out of the way. No railroad. Mountains. And on the island with the lowest security. When you enter the barrier, once again, you feel the judging eye of the avatar of justice. This time, it feels kinder. Remy, you didn't have a whole lot to be blamed on. On you. Mostly, what was blamed the last time was you not taking into consideration every clue that you had while you were there, and escaping at the cost of letting many other children suffer. Unfortunately, you were forced to be reminded of that again. But since now you are aware, since now you are older, probably the oldest, mentally anyway, the oldest Kenku alive on this world, you did have learned to start looking ahead a little bit more and considering the consequences of your action. But with all of that, the judgment of the barrier remains mild. It's not a brain-jarring lesson since you are prepared for this now. It goes smoothly. Audience and Fisher, the biggest difference is probably for you. Audience, you had a lot that you were forcing yourself not to watch. You didn't want to know, you didn't want to accept what you were doing. But now you have, and you're following a deity of forgiveness, a deity of redemption. And because of that, the judgment is much milder. The barrier is taking into consideration that you are being honest with yourself now. You've accepted the bad consequences of everything you did. You've accepted that there's probably going to be more. But even so, you promised yourself you wouldn't overreact. And because of that, the barrier is much milder this time. You almost feel that in its voice, it's telling you that you might be allowed to leave within your lifespan of this island. Which is, take it as you wish. Fisher, it's probably very similar to you. Before, you were consumed with rage. You wanted to absolutely destroy that person who made you suffer so much. And you were ready to do anything, kill anyone. But you've let go of that hatred now. It's not just that you killed the source of your hatred. You were able to let go when you were in front of him. Because of that, the avatar of justice also grants you a verdict that feels like he's saying, you might be able to get out of this island one day. Now you're a construct. You don't know if you have a time limit, which means that according to the barrier, you may one day leave on your own, be able to get in and get out. If you keep paying attention to your actions. When you finish traversing the barrier, fortunately, because you had warned Zal of the barrier and what it did, the pilot is the best, worst goody two-shoes you've ever met. And because of that, his passage through the barrier is extremely mild. And he just coasts through it, which prevents you from hitting the water at blinding speed as the ship suddenly stopped being controlled by someone.
Sweet.
Fisher, I'm wondering one thing. Do you think about Terry in all of this?
Yes. I'm trying to decide.
Because he is kind of in a pocket dimension right now, he may not have felt you traversing this barrier.
Uh-huh.
You're not exactly sure how this barrier works. Does it engulf the entire island chain, or is it just when you cross it? If it is the case,
I would
then the moment, then he just managed to avoid being judged. If it envelops everything, the moment you take it out, he's going to get judged. So,
Yeah. I'm hoping for the first one, so I'm gonna wait until we're a little farther in to take him out.
okay. Like I said, the voyage takes maybe 45 minutes. It's a pretty fast ship that you have. You know that several other ships also went down and tried to do the same thing, preparing on multiple fronts. Because you'd been told that on each island there would be someone doing something. A total of 3 ships went down and decided to create a on-site forward base. When you arrive, you go over the mountain and below the mountain. You recognize it's kind of weird, although it's a bit later in the year than last time you were here. You are within a month of the last time you were here. So when you left, there was snow everywhere. And when you come back, there is snow everywhere. A little bit more snow than last time, but it's cold outside. You are much higher up north. Audience, for you, it's just familiar. This is the kind of environment that you've been raised in. Probably even just a little bit higher up in altitude. And on the world in general. So probably just slightly colder winters. Fisher, you've only lived in those environments for a few years. Remy, thank God for warming rings. You are, if we compare it to the United States, born and raised in northern Florida, and you've suddenly been thrown into northern Canada. After a few minutes, the ship starts going down, landing. The captain tells you that his instruments are warning him that the arrival of the ship may not have been completely discreet. So don't take too long. There's a lot of activity in the air right now. It's unsettling. As if someone warned them that something was coming. Fortunately, you're not very far away from where you need to be. Only 5 or 6 minutes of walking toward the mountain gets you near a little cave. Not too deep, but you recognize that snow has been either melted off or pushed off the side of this cave. There's probably some sort of warmth barrier there, which is probably where you want to go. So, who goes in first? Do you actually want to go in? Who knows? Maybe it's a trap. Maybe it's a bear.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Jorg.
I'll go in.
Yeah.
All right, so Fisher first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You go in first, and there's a brief moment where your instinct just goes off, and you think, especially you, Remy, your passive perception is high enough to feel like, oh yeah, we're being watched. It's much warmer inside, yet my feathers have just gone into goosebump mode. And it only takes a moment before Fisher, you hear the tender voice of Tender, your priestly sister, the one who wakes people up by slapping them as hard as if it was with a brick. I know that sound. That beeping sound. There's only one guy who beeps like this. Brother!
What? I don't beep.
Oh, come on. You know you do.
Since when do I beep? Turn around. Guys, I don't beep, right?
She's talking about the old beacon that you have.
Thought we disabled that a long time ago.
Well, you disabled something that allow the mage to recognize you. Well, you know, I don't mind making this canon. Actually, that would kind of be interesting, you know, a concept for a Kenku. Because he can only duplicate things. Every time he swears, all you hear is beep.
It's just like that SpongeBob episode. Only in SpongeBob, it's dolphin noises.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Which would actually imply that dolphins have the saltiest mouths in the SpongeBob universe.
Oh, I mean, they might be that.
I mean, they are bastards.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe they are nothing but filthy sailors in the ocean here.
Excuse me for a moment while I have while I build a anthropomorphic dolphin pirate crew in my own game.
So you have Tender. Come on, brother. Join us. It's been a long while. What have you been up to? What are you wearing?
It's called fashion.
I mean, do you need to wear a tarp over your shoulder? You have a trench coat now.
Yeah, it's not a tarp, it's a coat. And
Really?
it's got a bajillion pockets that are very useful.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll give you that. Pockets are good. You hear one of your brother recognize the voice of Occult, the artificer brother that you have. Pockets are always nice. They can have everything you need at your disposal. Brother, It's been a long while. I am eager to know what kind of modification you might have made on yourself or your equipment since the last time we met. You will absolutely need to show me everything you have.
Besides the obvious.
Yeah. Oh, one quick thing. And now I will take out Terry.
Oh. The one who would remember Terry the most would be Citron. Large, made to hold a large amount of water because she is food grower, a tender of plants. Just like Tender, your sister. She says, "Oh, little Terry, how have you been?" And there's a jumble of stars that appears in front of all of them. The only one who seems to be able to follow is, of course, Occult, who just goes, interesting, interesting. So much history in so little time. Very interesting. We'll need to talk more. The voice that you hear next is one that you haven't heard a whole lot. You know he's one of your brother, but he wasn't there while you were in the camp with all of your brother. Two of your brothers were missing. They were out patrolling. The one called Saber, very calm, very composed, a warrior, thick and through. We should probably finish what we need to finish. The islands are being watched continuously. Now then, maybe you should all follow me a little bit deeper inside of the cave. Suchet is waiting for you, along with Raw. He seems to have taken quite a liking to Suchet. He looks at you, audience. He says, whatever you told her to say to all of those people, it also had a profound effect on Raw. It's like he found the purpose. At least now he is a bit more focused than he was before.
Is he one of the
Fascinating.
Afghan?
Sorry?
Was he the Nafthan?
No, Ra is the feral dragonborn.
Oh, okay.
Ra's the Pharaoh Dragonborn. Yeah, I'll say that's good to hear. Perhaps there's still hope for him yet.
It's both. For you, audience, it probably means a little bit different than for the others, because knowing what happens to Dragonborn when they're not tempered, and no other Dragonborn is there to help them, they go feral. For him to find some sort of purpose, something to focus his mind on, that is good, because now he will have more clarity, more stability in his life, but also now you can predict without fault how he will die one day. He will die defending her. It could happen in the next week. It could happen in 40 years. But he will die defending her one day. You're taken deeper inside of the cave to a small campfire with Sachet there. Fortunately, Nia didn't come with you when you left that ship. She's still on the ship. But, you know, there's that moment where you see Sachet again where you go, ah, damn, I forgot that she was kind of hot. Damn it. She's got a very high charisma, and that translates into her having a impressive presence. Whether it actually means that she's physically beautiful, or it's simply the assurance that she has, the way she carries herself. You get the impression that Nia is gonna try to kneecap you for some reason or another. She looked like she has gained a little bit of experience. In meta terms, she probably leveled one or two level. She's been on the run for a full year. Before, she looked thin, slightly malnourished. Now she looks thin, running through the wild. So, fit thin.
Okay.
Which just helps when you look at her. She is near the fire, you know, warming herself. She's wearing thick clothes. As you approach, especially you, Remy, because you're passive perception, you feel the gaze of Ra. It's a kind of predatory gaze. One that lets you know, I can't see where he is right now. But if I make one wrong move, he's gonna try to twist my head off.
Remy does like having his head.
And you remember Ra. He's literally a 8-foot tall barbarian, dragonborn. He probably has the strength to twist your head off.
There's only one dragonborn that's allowed to twist Remy's head off. Because at least then he would die happy.
When you arrive, you hear Sachet's voice. Finally, you're here. I was starting to wonder if some patrol had intercepted you. You were supposed to be here almost 10 minutes ago. And these time and age, 10 minutes can mean literally that you got intercepted and you are being interrogated. You really should try not to scare me that much.
No, our travels were safe.
Good. But it is good to see you all. It has been a while.
Had to tie our shoes.
You catch her half looking down and closing her eyes, sort of. God, come on.
It's like, I don't know if she has the insight. It's like this is an attempt at breaking the tension. Since she should know from memory that none of them wear shoes.
Yeah, that's why I said she had the reflex to look down, and then she sort of had to, come on. Fisher is the only one that looks like he's wearing shoes, but he's actually not.
I've got boots.
Yeah.
They don't lace.
And fused your feet.
Yeah.
All right. Where? Okay, there she is. Does she actually have that skill? Okay. Well, come on, get closer to the fire. We have a lot to talk about. Planning all of this. But I also want to know at least a little bit about how you've all been doing. Last time you were here, there were 5 of you. 6 if we count Terry. And now there's only 3. And I see you brought Terry. You see Cithran playing with Terry a little bit, watching him from every angle.
Yep. He's grown up.
Yeah.
Also, he's got... Where is it? Quick question.
Yes.
The Shield Guardian.
It has been completed. The pendant has been modified so that he can summon it to him. So essentially, he has now the right to live every kid's fantasy of being a Power Ranger.
Perfect. Yeah, Occult, he's got some pretty cool new toys that we'll have to go over later.
You hear Occult say, "Oh, yes, I am so eager to see everything new. You all seem like you've been through so much." He looks at you, Remy, for a brief moment. And you kind of look wiser. It's easier to see in your eyes. As if you'd seen more than you should have, but not in a bad way.
The stories I could tell.
Suchet says, "I bet you can. Audience has filled me in a little bit about everything you've lived. I would love to spend a little bit of time talking about all of those intriguing things you've seen. Your stories are always so wild. Almost impossible to believe initially, at least. Now then. Turns around and says, "Ra, you can get the leaders of the rebellion, the population rebellion. And please make sure Malcolm hasn't been trying to eat their shoes again." You hear these footsteps just going away. This is when, Remy, you see him. The others can't, but your passive perception is high enough that those few steps...
Is he doing some creepy, skittery stuff on the ceiling?
Amalgam? Oh, of course. Always. I was talking about Raw.
Oh, okay.
When he starts walking away, because he's not trying to be stealthy or anything, you immediately notice him, and he is just as large as always. He walks with purpose and with speed. And after maybe a minute, you see a 3-person coming back to where you are. And then you hear Malgam arriving. He is literally walking upright, or rather upside down, on the ceiling. And you can just hear him talk to one of the persons, the leaders of this small rebellion, saying, "Oh, come on, come on. It sounds like there's so many interesting people following you. I want to meet them all. I want to meet them all. I wonder where they've been. Where has their boot been?" You see them all just hurrying up, creeped out like a little bit. You see Raw in front of them, just looking at all of you. They're all alive. I didn't kill anyone. Yet anyway. And he looks at Sachet, and for a brief moment, you kind of recognize the way that a dog looks at his master. Sort of this way of looking, and without saying anything, just saying, "Is everything normal? Good. You sure? Yeah, okay." Then he looks at all of you. You see 2 men and a woman getting closer. They look scared. They look cautious. They don't know all of you. They know Sachet, and they know she said that you were alright, but it's so hard to make sure of people. And there seems to be an even greater hesitation when they see you, Fisher. But fortunately, you kind of understand why. Because immediately you see them trying to see the joints on your person. And you remember that all of the construct, those that have a symbiote, their joint has a little bit of color, helping you understand which type of enforcer they are. Unfortunately, most of your joint are hidden because of a trench coat.
Yeah.
But, they see your wrists, they see your jaw, and they're nervous like this, and they're looking at you, and they're trying to see more. For now, they don't relax, but at least they don't outright say that you could be a spy. Sorry, that you could be a spy, but you see it in their eyes. They're terrified that you might be a spy.
Mm-hmm. I'll make a sigh and then kind of like open up my trench coat and do like the kind of like, look, I don't have any weapons, except I do have tons of weapons. Just
you open your trench coat, and it looks so much worse. But they can see your joints now. Oh, look, all of my weapons. Bling, 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 bling. Oh, no, don't touch that.
Oh shit! My bad.
I wasn't attuned to that. That's why it rolled away. They look at all of you and says, right, okay. Sachet says that you're here to help us from outside. It's been so long since anyone
Yes.
from the outside has ever been here, but I think you kind of match the description of some travelers.
Been about a year.
Yes. About a year ago. The eldest of the two men says, if you are those people, then we owe you both thanks and probably a few insults. You've breathed in the general population a sense of hope, also only to get it crushed even further with new machines and harsher ruling by the wizard. The woman says, now, you know how travelers are. They don't necessarily mean bad. And they did do some good. You wanted to talk to us?
I just wanted to let you know so we're all on the same page of the plan of the assault that's going to happen tomorrow on the tower.
The younger man says, I've heard that from the little intelligence that we've had, your friend, Calm, has been very instrumental in getting information of any kind. The rebels are going to try and attack.
Yes.
The guilds are going to take a different front, and we're going to take the last one. The rebels want to attack from High Sal. Something about a better statement. Being the greater island, the most populated one. Guilds.
Go ahead.
The guilds are probably going to attack from this one, but we can't get anything from them. They're just not trusting anyone for any reason. And we are going to try and attack from Mid-Sal. Sachet has been very kind in helping us create a small encampment. So far we haven't been seen, but well, we've had to change emplacement several times in the past 2 weeks. But what's the plan? We've never been able to get through from low, and from high it's just suicide. The defenses of the tower, legend says they can push back against entire fleets. And if we go too close to the waters, the sea serpent become very territorial, and they just eat everything up like fish grabbing flies off of ponds.
We're working on two parts of the plan. For one, the tower's defenses will never have been nearly as stretched as much as they will be now, for we have a fleet and 3 ships meant for breaking down castles that it has not yet faced. And secondly, we have individuals who, well, let's just say they're very good with nature and creatures, and we're working on creating a back exit for the ground forces and communication with the sea serpents themselves to allow passage through the waters, which the wizard will not expect.
The woman says, "That's all very promising, but it's also just words. Is there anything else you can show us, maybe?" The older man says, "Please try to understand us. We are risking everything simply by being here, and your plan sounds incredible, but our history is dotted with those attempts at the tower, and we have been punished so hard for every attempt."
I guess I could ask Remy to show them an image from the observation deck, which would have shown how large our fleet is that we're bringing in, if they need some proof of what I'm saying is true.
If everyone will look to the holodeck.
View screen. All right. Everyone turns toward Remy and looks at the image that you show. The three civilians just stop and stare in disbelief. And they're not sure what to do with that image. It's unbelievable to them. You recognize the they know what the spell is. It's not the spell that's surprising them. It's the idea that so many ships of so many different size can possibly exist. And there is at one point one of the siege breaker that just starts appearing slowly, and after a few minutes just goes back out of your field of view that you've recorded. And they all look at this, and yeah, the woman said, "That can't be true. The ships this massive can't exist."
Kenkus don't tell lie, bosses.
She looks at you and says, "It is the truth. I know there aren't a lot of them in the island chain, but they can only mimic and duplicate. So you can at least be sure that this is a true image." The youngest man says, "Yeah, all right. So he's seen them." Still doesn't guarantee that it's what's actually outside. You hear Amalgam say, "Oh, come on!" "Of course it's what's outside. They're absolutely trustworthy. Look at them. Isn't it obvious?" And you see Amalgam just skittering toward you on all 8 legs, or 2 legs and 6 arms.
Fisher is face palming.
He gets up.
Gotta work on your tone.
Oh, come on, brother. And he gets up. It's almost as if he used your body to prop himself up. Come on, brother. Show them your trustworthy face.
Man. Is that a joke?
You see the three humans looking at you for a brief moment, expecting something, but you hear Amalgam right next to your sensory organ just going. I mean, his face. And he points toward audience.
I mean, also you could just kind of go outside.
The entire fleet is not outside.
Yeah, but I mean, we landed what 6 minutes away.
The ship is probably visible from where you are.
Yeah.
All right, they all look at you and says, "All right, fine." The eldest man, I say eldest, he's not 70 years old. He's probably like 46, 47 years old. Just enough that you start seeing signs of age on his face, but not to the point where he needs a walking stick.
He's most senior.
So, for you, 45 is senior. Is that it?
Most senior
Hey.
experience-wise.
Okay. Because I'd like to remind you, I am 46 years old. All right. The eldest man says, well, I want to see that. And he goes toward the exit of the cave. You hear Amalgam go, well, at least we have one courageous one. You know, you need balls. And you see Amalgam go, you need balls. Ball. And then two more hands join in. Two say balls and two say balls in order to get what's happening and go see outside. It's obvious, isn't it? The man comes back after a minute, says, well, there's at least one ship outside. The woman says, well, fine. So, do you have a more elaborate plan than simply we can neutralize the threat of the sea and throw projectile at them? How are we going to get in? From where are we going to get in?
I assume the base of the tower.
Alright, so where are the ground force trying to get in?
Yep.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep. That's what you signed up for.
The youngest man says, we know. You have to understand, we've been enduring this for generations. The mage in the tower, according to rumors, is human, but he's lived far beyond what a human should normally be able to go. So,
yep.
And he's cruel.
I don't know if it's the wizard who runs all the defense systems himself, but I'm sure he's heavily evolved. And we have brought ways to neutralize all three of his probably greatest weapons and his two strongest units and him himself. While it won't be easy without those three being able to lead the defense, I'm sure even with all the defenses up at the base of the tower, your job will become a lot less deadly.
Yeah. Oh. And where are you going to be while we're doing this?
Don't worry about that.
You hear the woman says, yeah. That's what leaders usually say. And then we find
I'm sorry,
them
I
hiding.
just met you, and I know how easy information gets out. You don't need to know our exact locations, just know that we'll be helping out.
Trust us, but we can't trust you too much. Interesting philosophy.
Well, we are the one with the 1,000 ships. So what other option do you have?
112.
Oh yeah, 112, yeah. But we're the ones with the fleet and the force, basically. What other choice do you have?
Sachet intervenes because you can at least, well, Remy easily recognize it, but you can probably recognize that you're losing the woman by saying all of this. Whomever she's representing, you are on the verge of losing those people. But Sachet intervenes. I know it's difficult. The wizard has been influencing everything for so long. They have agents everywhere. We know. But if we can't trust at least some of us, we will not be going anywhere. Everyone is going to hold that little bit of effort in case everything goes awry, and we're all going to end up our hands on a featherfall orb in case whatever we're on starts falling. We need to be upfront with one another. You don't need to say every single detail, but you need to be able to at least inspire confidence in those around you. She looks at you, audience, when she says that.
Audience will simply go, no offense, Sachet, but I've inspired confidence my whole life and lived. There are those, if they're not going to trust in the plan and in the fighting, and those who show up to help and understand strength, especially when they're not necessarily needed for success. I'm not going to put the mission at risk giving them information they don't need. I'd rather them walk than risk the operation by telling them something they don't need to hear. They've spent 1,000, I'll look at them, these guys have spent hundreds and hundreds of years in slavery. This is their chance to break it. If they're going to walk away because they don't know the whole plan, well, then their faith wasn't strong enough to begin with.
Audience, these people have been lied to by rebels, by resistance, by misinformation from the wizard all their lives. And you're right now acting just like those people.
The difference
I'm
is,
gonna
is
go
I
kill
off,
the wizard.
then we'll go kill the wizard. We're the ones offering a way out from that.
I know it. But you wanted to come here so that you could see who you have. You wanted to convince them.
I wanted to come here to make sure that everyone was on the same page. Not to let them know the intimate details of where we're gonna be. That's them asking details that could compromise the operation. You know that. That's not how war works.
Audience, you're forgetting that you're not talking to soldiers.
Well, they're about to become them, so they should start learning to think like them.
She makes a few
All
steps.
People are.
of it.
I'm going to basically say people are going to die in this operation no matter what. There's not going to be a perfect plan or a perfect solution where people don't die. That's not how you take down someone who's got this strong over all the years. But we have a chance. This is the chance. This is the chance we've presented with. And I'll look over at the woman, and if she's not willing to take that chance because she doesn't know all the information and can't find it to trust after we've shown her an image of the forces we've brought, I don't need to give her any more. Her help is not necessary in winning this war. Ours is. It's up to her whether she chooses to be a part of it or not.
Shishay walks toward you, Fisher. She says, "Can you see where the problem is in what he said?"
I can't, but I mean, he's.
I didn't say he was wrong. I said there's a problem.
I'll look to the woman. While you're doing that, we're gonna kill the wizard. Is that enough for you?
She looks at you for a brief moment and says, "That's a bold statement." Are you
Yeah.
talking about...
What we're doing is really bold. And we're prepared for it.
So are you talking about we're going to be killing the wizard by ordering our armies to go in and die for us? Or are you actually going to
We
be
personally are going to be killing the wizard.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
It's a net 20. Plus 0 is a 20.
Big swing.
You know, that's good. It's good. It's still a pretty mediocre superhuman roll, but still, you know, it's good. It's good. She looks at you for a brief moment, Fisher, and says, I never thought I'd align myself with machines for this. Fine. Fine.
Machines have also been under the tyranny of the wizard all these years.
Yeah.
at least you are still in control of your actions.
And that's why they laugh when they watch us being devoured by undeads. Because it's against their will. I don't think you've been among us for that long. We'll be with you.
Good.
The older man says, well, that's all fun and games, but I'm starting to be hungry, and light is slowly fading outside. And we kind of need a good day to get back to our camp. So, nice talking to you. Not sure you would make good general, but at least you can inspire a little bit of troops. We'll be there. Make sure you are as well.
We didn't come back to the Isles just to hang out.
What a couple bone to pick.
The younger man says, well, hopefully one of them is with the wizard. And you're actually going to collect. I'm just worried about who's going to be there next. It's always been the problem if you read the history books. Those who replace only push everything in the worst possible direction. It's kind of true what the priest says. We only can blame ourselves for this. We'll be there as well. Now, maybe if you can find a way to convince the rebels and the resistance, that would make for a more interesting show. Wouldn't you agree? You hear Malcolm says, you should answer when someone asks a question.
Quick, DM. Is that not who this is?
No, they represent the populace. They represent those who are revolting.
Which is different than the resistance.
Resistance is an organized movement.
These are equivalent of Minutemen, I guess.
Those are peasants. They're farmers. They're blacksmiths that Sichet has managed to convince to join. They're the populace. They're the ones who are the least armed, the most numerous, and also the most fearful of what may happen. Resistance and rebels have been hiding. They've been accumulating weapons. They have basic strategies. They've been trying to undermine the efforts of the wizard. They're the ones who attacked you while you were on the train. The guilds are the silent planners. They're those who've been planning for ages without ever doing anything, always accumulating more resource, promising that the right moment will come, but never actually acting.
Like I said, Minutemen.
In
Well,
this
then we're out of
battle,
ropes.
the population that are revolting are probably going to be the most numerous. Probably each one of them represented the people of an island or a major city, something like this. The numbers of people that they're bringing can probably be numbered in the hundreds. The others are going to be fewer, but better prepared.
Y'all got any leads?
Oh, the rebels and resistance. They're kind of hard to find. They make it a point to not being seen, and they don't trust outsiders. The guild, the problem is not a question of not necessarily being that hard to find. And they're prepared. They're probably the best prepared of all of them. It's convincing them that you're actually the one who's going to manage this. Now, you can try and go and find them and convince them with words or with actions. The rebels and the resistance, they're probably already observing you. They're probably aware that you've entered the island. They probably have spies amongst the population. The news is going to spread from there. So, all right. So what this means is, by convincing the population, you've managed to make sure that the signal to go will be heard by everyone. The population will bring back what you said, and depending on how it went, if you lead it like this, they could join, or maybe not. Sachet has a big influence in this, and what she said probably will carry weight. Because audience, you know what she is destined to be. There's an element in that is comforting, in the sense that she will most likely be able to make sure that everyone's there. The level of loyalty is what you can influence if you want to try and meet them. Are they going to retreat at the first sign of a problem, or are they going to stick it through all the way to the end? You have the population with you right now. And convincing them has made sure that when you say go, everyone goes. You can leave it there, or you can try and meet them and further that loyalty.
I personally, I think we kind of let the rebels work alone.
Yeah.
And we just focus on our plan.
All right. So I have it rolled. with advantage because you've inspired Sachet, and Sachet is giving the speech. And now I know their level of loyalty. All right. Sachet looks at all of you and says, well, at least we're not going to be alone attacking this. What exactly is your plan for attacking the tower? I mean, if you're trying to get from the bottom all the way up, it's going to be one hell of a trip. The representative of the population have gone. It's just Sachet and Fisher's family right now in the cavern.
Well, we have the anti-magic thing.
That's nice. What are you planning to do with this?
Get close enough to the wizard to be able to use it. And break his shield, or if we can get his shield down once, he won't be able to regenerate it if we use it on him.
Audience, I'm just trying to understand your plan. It sounds like you have a way to keep the attention on the floor and a way to keep the attention in the air, but it would kind of be nice if you survived the whole thing. How are you planning on entering the tower?
I plan to enter from the top, where we left off. We should be able to get a ship close enough. With all the fire.
Do you know how barrier works?
Yes.
You do know that it's difficult to predict where a barrier will fail. Your plan may be to go directly to the top of the tower, but you have to take into consideration that this may not be what's going to happen. If you're trying to cause a barrier to fail, it may not be the one on top. It may be one in the middle of the tower. It may be one on the other side of the tower.
We have the mobile abilities to readjust to somewhere near wherever the breach occurs. As long as we can readjust outside of the tower.
No, that's I understand that. Flying ships, how they work. I'm just saying, what if you can't teleport to the top?
We wouldn't teleport to the top, just inside the breach in the barrier. I assume he'll have anti-teleportation magic up, but he won't have it outside of the tower's barrier itself. So as long as we teleport to the edge and then use other methods to get in from wherever the breach occurs, we'll start from there.
So, is it going to be only the three of you getting into that breach? That's what I mean.
No, we'll have a couple other of the high-level adventurers come with us that will each have their missions and should be able to handle themselves if things get too dicey.
All right. Well, I hope you know what you're doing. I'm just saying that maybe you should consider having a contingent of soldiers with you when you enter that tower where you will have breached. You'll need to overwhelm the people there. I know that you're all strong, and I know that your friends are probably very strong, but I know if there's only 10 of you breaching in one point, aren't you afraid you're going to be overwhelmed?
That's why we have so many forces attacking. He's not going to be able to send enough forces to the breach to stop one small group going through a breach, especially if they're all incredibly strong. Because it's not going to be like he's going to be able to send all his forces there. His forces are going to be too spread from the multiple assault points.
I really hope you're right. All right. So, what now? We go back to our command post and we wait.
We still have to gather a couple information from our intels and make sure the Naftons and the others are ready. But yes, at this point, we just are trying to position and get everyone ready for tomorrow.
Right. Okay. We'll keep in touch. We'll need to be coordinated. I feel like you're really underestimating the strength of the tower. All right, roll.
We're going off of the information that we have.
You do.
If you
know
have
that
information that counters that, we would very much appreciate it and change our plans accordingly.
there isn't a lot of things I can actually say. I mean, you have to be prepared for whatever you're gonna encounter in there. There's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of enforcers inside of there. The perimeter defense of the tower is going to be able to push off those attacking from the bottom for a long time. You might actually have to face wave after wave after waves of enforcers. And we don't know how many grievers there are in there. And you remember how strong they are. He's made modification to the grievers. Now their metal has this weird kind of gloss, and acid doesn't seem to take. We've managed to breach that skin with fire, but it just adds one more step to destroying an enemy which was already nearly impossible to beat. And the skin regenerates very fast. Attacking a single griever is a coordinated assault. Those new enhanced ones. And apparently you had a little bit of difficulty with the Guardian Spheres because there's a new machine. Everyone calls it a toad. It just spews out Guardian Spheres. It doesn't do anything else. It just attacks and bleh. You remember those? They can simply put themselves in your way when you're attacking them. They can counter spells and raise barriers at the last moment. It's been a hell. Yeah, they are not indestructible. If they protect one machine, they can't protect themselves, and unless there's another one, it just becomes so hard to coordinate everything. And there's Civ.
We'll deal with Civ.
We have a plan for Civ.
I really hope everything goes well.
We could also slow things down a little bit and just unload on the tower with the siege breakers from their maximum range for a while.
Yeah. They are siege breakers for a reason.
It's your army. You know what to do with it. I've never seen a siege breaker. I don't know what their potential is. I don't even know what it is.
It's a ship the size of a castle that can shoot magical ballista bolts that are specifically made to blow up castles.
How can we
From
even
about,
plan?
like a mile away?
How can we even plan for things like this? I don't think you understand the size of what you are bringing here compared to what we've ever seen.
We do. That's part of the reason we're a lot more confident than everybody else is.
But also, do you understand the strength of the tower?
We've been one of the only people to be in the tower and escape it. We saw how many cannons it had. We also know their limitations. The siege breakers can outrange them. Perhaps the other ships can't.
I just know you know what you're doing. I really hope you do know. Sorry, I said twice know what you're doing. I meant to say I sure hope you know what you're doing. All right. Well, so we meet again soon or on the battlefield.
Yes. We'll keep in touch to coordinate the forces
All right.
through the message.
Malgan goes to you, Fisher. It says, well, brother, it looks like we'll be on different front of this amazing battle. So many interesting things will happen in the next few days. I'm so eager.
I'm glad you're excited.
I've been scuttling the plains of the infested island for way too long. Finally, some excitement. But brother, don't get killed. And he really just looks and stares at you when he says that. You even get the impression that he just said that and it implied, I don't care about the two others.
I won't.
Occult and Tender both get close to all of you and says, well then, I guess we're not going to be able to talk more about an occult just gestures toward you, toward you, Fisher, all of this. There seem to have been so many interesting things. Well, make sure that if you die, I get your body. I want to have a chance to look at all of this.
I think if I die, you're gonna have to go fetch it.
But it is mine, right?
Sure.
Good. Well, one way or the other, I have something to look forward to. You see Tender going, looking at you, says, Fisher, and she looks at Remy and Audience. Remy, Audience, take care of yourselves, or I will come and take care of she turns around and starts humming as she walks away. Remy, you have that lovely image of the last time you saw her take care of someone with all of the extra hands appearing. Interesting. Finally, Sachet. Stay alive. Please. All of you. Alright. Raw. Cuddles. Time to go. You had not seen Cuddles. But, Remy, you hear him. All you hear is... Damn it. And you see Raw leaving. He looks at you before leaving. He looks at you, Fisher. Looks at you, Remy. Looks at you, audience. You sort of recognize something weird in his eyes. Like, you don't know, an animal looking at his reflection in the mirror. And understanding that it's not them. And then he leaves. So you are alone in this little cave. A few minutes after Sachet leaves, the pressure bubble dissipates, and then the cold air gets inside of the cavern, and you have that moment of, whew, okay. You're free to go back into the ship. I assume you do.
Yep.
All right. So you go back to the ship, and as you're entering, the captain of the ship says, well, I guess everything went well. You were gone for a few hours. So, is it just going to be us, or are we bringing more people to the party?
Have some help.
Anyone that's going to be joining us on the ships, or...
No, I think they're going to be tacking from Mid-Sal.
That's a shame. I'm sure Zal would have been reassured if you could have brought back, I don't know, a few hundred people.
I think we're going to try and use the ships more as a distance thing. Stay out of the cannon's range. And use it to try and break the barriers to get in the forces.
I understand, but... And he starts walking toward the bridge. Slowly, watching if you're going to follow him or not.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to scan the area as best as I can. Can't make active scans, otherwise we could draw the attention of the enemy. There are already a lot of things flying in the air. I don't think you're going to get much of a choice. The tower seems to be equipped with a very wide variety of weaponry. Even if they are stuck firing blind, I think we're not going to have much of a choice but to get in tight.
I mean, with the small ships, yeah.
But also, you are aware that Siegebreaker, the further they are, the less accurate they are. You may start firing and firing and firing, and if you're too far away, one shot out of three may hit the tower. even
It's
if
a
there's
tower.
just a 0.5% drift in every fire, 100 feet away, that's minimal. You're always hitting the same target, but 5 miles away, it's more than just a
I don't.
few inch
I,
off mark.
I don't plan to be 5 miles away, but when we fought the siege breaker, it was over at least a mile away and was pinpoint hitting its target every single time.
Oh
Are
no,
you
So
guys
no,
not
no.
that good?
Oh no, no, no. I just mean they're going to be firing blind if you are trying to fire from beyond the barrier.
Well, we're not trying to hit the tower. We're trying to hit the barrier itself to break it. So if the
No,
barrier surrounds the tower.
I mean the barrier around the entire island chain.
Yeah, yes. I assume we won't be outside that barrier. But isn't there enough? I mean, the tower itself, the if we sit over the water, there's at least thousands and thousands of feet between it and the edge of the island.
Oh no, yeah, okay. Well, at least that clarifies one strategy. Okay, good. Well, let's go.
Well, we have to go pick up Sarn. Let's do that first, see how it went with the Leviathan, so we can update Sachet whether the waters will be a route that the troops can take.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, there's a small ship that should be arriving right now in the space between the larger island and the central island. Let's see. And he starts hitting a few knobs on one of the console. And there's an image that appears. You see a dwarf looking at you through this imager. It says, "You know you're nuts, right? You want to send that little thing inside of the water so that he can talk to Sea Serpent?" You see Sarn on the edge. He's almost not visible. The resolution is sort of blurry because he had the edge of the perception of this little orb. You see him there. He's just, all right. And he starts concentrating. You know he's gonna get eaten as soon as he jump, right?
He's not.
Sarn is not who I'm worried about here. I'd be much more worried about the sea serpent trying to eat him.
Right. It's always nice to have good delusions. All right, then.
I'll turn to audience. Everybody here is so sad.
I feel like people just don't have faith, and
Yeah, they're just all depressed, and they've never had anything go right, and they don't know anything about the outside world. It's kind of a bummer.
it is.
Right as you say this, you can see Sarn, who's looking down. Well, and he turns toward the imager and toward your image audience. It's going to be an interesting conversation. But I think this is one of those situations where subtlety is not going to be the best thing. Predators need to be in front of larger predators. And you see him step back and he just goes. And for some reason, audience, it just feels like, oh, maybe I gave him this idea. Or maybe it's just faith. Because half a second after he jumped, just after you see his head disappearing, you see a beast, an elemental being unfolds. Huge. And you recognize the form just as it's leaving the sight range of the orb. You know that druids can turn into elementals. Sarn just turned into a leviathan. And jumped.
Well, I guess that's one way to do it.
I'll clap that dude on the shoulder and say, see? Can be fine.
You see the dwarf and the communication stream just go. Or rather, in your direction, that would be. And then the image cuts. The captain of the ship where you are, he says, I wish I had friends like this. So where do you want to go now?
Let's go. I guess where's a place where we could kind of gather all the ships that would probably be the most hidden from the wizard, or the least place that they would be noticed? Probably somewhere off of one of the islands. Maybe the one that has all the zombies. That's not inhabited. So he has less viewpoints there.
Yeah, according to the map that you've shown us, there are several mountain chains. One looks to be out of the way of everything. Oh.
Yeah. Just thinking of a place to gather the ship so the wizard can less easily track how many forces and what our actual strength is, so he knows less what to prepare for. I'm sure he'll gain some information. I'm not foolish enough to think that he won't know a fleet has probably entered the island, but the number of ships and the strength of them and how many ground forces there are, he might not be able to get the exact numbers.
You know, we could always ask Zal to separate the fleet in several smaller fleets, attacking from multiple vectors. If there's going to be an assault from every island, we could probably try and make an assault from between islands as well. So instead of having a three-point assault, we'd have a 6-point assault.
Yeah, the ships have the speed that would work. We could also put a siege breaker with each small fleet so that we can have firepower firing from all angles, and they won't be able to. They'll have to split their forces.
That's clever. I didn't think about that.
That means that if their shield is based on a technology where they have to basically reinforce a certain part of it, they won't just be able to reinforce one side. They'll have to keep changing it, which will be far more difficult for them.
Well, it'll always depend on how many generators they have.
Yes. But what I'm more saying is that the generators won't be able to just put full power towards one side and a holding kind of off. It'll have to split its power up between the shots.
Yeah. Well, we got enough ship to conquer a major city. I guess we'll just have to see how a major city compares to a over-prepared wizard. Alright. Still want to go on the northern island? Or do you want to be part of the group on this island? Or maybe the other one?
Uh,
I mean, there are island chains everywhere.
I would like to go with the fleet headed towards the mountains, I guess, because I want to still contact my old my old master, as we haven't been able to communicate with the Naftons yet. Make sure
Oh,
that they're on
yeah.
board and understand what they're going to do.
All right, then. I believe that means we're going to the Western Island. All right, then. Buckle up. I'll be trying to go as fast as we can. Chip takes off. Goes close to the sea, and picks up as much speed as he can to make sure that the sea serpent do not have time to attack. Here might be a good moment to take a break.
Yep.
All right. More sound. Go. All right. We will be back in 15 minutes. Bye.
Okay.
And we're back. We don't need the toads. All right. So, you all get back. You all got back on the ship, and the ship left. It takes a few hours to get to where you want to go, and especially since you have to take a little bit of a detour to go on the outside, close to where the edge of this land is, so to make sure that the wizard has fewer chance of seeing you. While you're going around Losal, it's not as dangerous, but as soon as you reach the open sea, and you remember the time it took in a train. It took several days to cross the ocean. The ship is going much faster. It's one of those small ships designed for speed. So instead of taking days to reach the other side, it takes 6 or 7 hours. It's still a long time being bored on a ship. You'd forgotten how being on this island felt, the weight of it. It took a little bit of time, but eventually your other party members also started feeling it. So you know you have a little bit of time, but eventually the mist is going to take hold. And you're going to start feeling that despair. The mist makes it weird traveling. It limits your field of view to maybe a mile in every direction, because you're a bit higher up. It helps, but still, you don't see a whole lot. It's just gray all the time. No sun, just gray. But after a few hours, what?
I was gonna say sounds like home.
Yeah, for you, it definitely is. You're probably the only one for whom it doesn't feel as depressing being here. Sort of, yeah. Remembering an old thing that is almost forgotten. But really, it's just like arriving on your street when you're walking home. There's that little element inside of you that just says, ah, that feels better. What's going to happen to this place? Probably you, Fisher, are the one that would ask that question the most. What's going to happen to this place? Audience is just let loose Sarn. Knowing that he might try and take down the mist, but that's gonna destroy everything. The feel is gonna be gone, the color is gonna be gone. Sure, they might be able to live better, but if Audience's plan goes exactly according to what he is hoping, Audience is going to destroy your home.
I don't think I see it that way.
Then again, they may be intrusive thoughts from the mist.
Not like the intrusive human thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I don't miss pooping.
I think I see it. Fisher sees it more in the way of it's gonna finally be allowed to be what it should or could have been.
Yeah. But the feeling of home will be gone.
That's okay.
Like I said, part of it could just be the mist trying to influence your mind. So, according to what you say, you managed to push them away relatively easily. But who knows? Maybe it's true. Home will be gone. After several hours, the other island is reached. The captain is forced to take the long way to the mountains because there is increased security near the border of this island. It is High Sal, after all. It used to be the high level security prison of this island. So he has to take quite a detour, adding a good hour or so. By the time that you get to the mountain, night has completely fallen. There are no stars, and the air is rather cold, especially near mountains. It's just tumbling down the top of those mountains, and some of them are quite high. You can even see snow on the tops. Probably, audience and Remy, you were able to just doze off a few minutes here and there. Maybe actually got a good 45 minutes of sleep before something wakes you up. It is night, and you're at the bottom of the mountain. You're not sure exactly where you're supposed to go. But it is the mountain where the Naftons are supposed to be. So what do you do? You're muted.
I said now that we're in closer range, I'd go to contact Tasul.
Okay.
Let him know we're nearby.
Takes a minute, but Tasul eventually answers. Audience, you are finally here.
Yes. We were able to talk with everyone else. Just wanted to make sure that the Naftons are on board and what, if they have any sense of what their plan or role is in all of this.
Well, the Naftons have their own goals. The trick was to make sure that these goals coincided with ours in a way that helped us. The breach to the other realm interested them, stemming the tide of the undead at its source is an endeavor worth dying for them. They won't be joining us to the top of the tower, but they will be able to provide a distraction to the bottom of the tower.
Understand.
Portal.
They will try to seal it, or at least secure it.
Very well. Do they have their own plans to break through the barrier, or will simply wait for us to create an opening, which they'll take?
I think they're going to take the opportunistic route. They will hold their position, maybe a mile out, and wait for you to start your attack. The moment the barriers are going to start weakening or shearing, they're going to try and breach the tower from the bottom. This could be interesting for the population, the guilds, and the rebels. Because the moment they're going to be in, all hell is going to break loose on the first few floors.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing then I'll tell to Sachet, which is our plan now is to spread the ships into a three-pronged attack, to attack from all sides with the siege breakers to try and break through the barrier. Hopefully we'll be able to create an opening somewhere. And when we do, that's when we're going to have to move quick. We'll send in the smaller ships to provide suppressing fire to distract the turrets, and that should allow the ground forces, at least some of them, the Naftans, will have an easier time than some of the other ground forces because of their speed of movement. But to enter through whatever that breach is, while the smaller ships distract the turrets and provide covering fire to any other forces going to engage them.
Well, it is definitely going to be an interesting firework. Their intelligence on the tower is a little bit more precise than what you have provided. The tower has significant firepower. It will be able to resist quite a while. You will lose many ships.
I assumed. That's why I didn't want to assault it with the ships until the barrier was down, as to not lose as many. But the siege breaker should be able to outrange the tower's turrets, at least the ones we saw when climbing it.
I am not sure that plan will work. The tower's long-range weapon can fire from the tower to the islands.
Yeah, but it only has one of those, correct?
It has 3, one for each island.
One for each island. My guess is that it takes a lot of power to generate a shot for those, though.
Yes, of course. But it does put a problem on your plan to wait until the barriers are down.
Well, somewhat. I think that they'll have to choose between offense and defense. I think if they try and turn all their power to firing at the siege breakers from afar, that would give a chance for that power to be moved away from the barriers and give us a chance to break it and use that window. Almost time it with the shots from the tower itself. Even if the wizard has had so much time to prep, there's a limited amount of energy he can generate, even with as many generators as that tower could hold, into being able to fire 3 shots in 3 directions while also maintaining a barrier from all incoming fire.
But yes, that does mean we will have to be more aggressive with it and time it correctly. As opposed to, sounds like we won't be able to just sit back and weaken it from afar, but you will need to be more aggressive so that we can hit it and get in when we get the opening.
Well, the Nafthan will be ready. They can be in position in roughly 2 days. Flying all the way to the island is long.
Yeah, that's right.
Now then, unless you have other plans for this conversation, like organizing a meeting, should you feel that your inspiring presence may benefit those troops, we can always settle a meeting. Otherwise, it is probably preferable that you go to sleep and that the Naftan starts their preparation.
I think the Naftan, more so than some of the others, understand what's at stake here and come, and I think they know we're on their side and will give it their all. I'm not sure. If they trust in you, then they trust in us, and I assume you'll be leading them anyway. I don't think a meeting with us would be as necessary.
Very well. Yes, of course. They know better the dangers of this island. But like I said, they care little about who controls the tower. They care about the undeads and stopping them. So, we will meet on the battlefield, my friend.
We shall. Stay safe.
And
Be
to
quick,
you
be
as well.
swift.
Well, as the human like to say, God's speed. And he cuts
Then
the
I
cord.
guess. Yep. All
He
right.
cuts the
That's all
Yep.
I need to do, unless anyone else has any other plans for the day.
It's a bit differently if the song goes, rolling around at the speed of God.
Well, the only thing you could possibly do is try to create more upheaval on the islands. You can probably try and go into towns and cities and try to create a commotion. You're usually very good at that, but there's also the risk of being seen if you do that. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Okay. So, you wait for the next 2 days for everything to fall into position. Zal wants to know when you want the ships to be in position. Are they supposed to slowly trickle in, go hide as best as they can, so they can just peekaboo and attack, or are they supposed to wait beyond the barrier, beyond the fog, and beeline to the tower?
Probably beyond the fog, so that the tower can't start shooting.
Yeah. I think now that we know that the tower can reach basically anywhere, I think we want to wait beyond the fog and then beeline.
Okay. She says she will wait. She asks if there is anything else you want to add to anything you told her. Something that might make it easier for her. For example, is the ship you're on supposed to be the ship that you'll be conducting your attack, or are you supposed to rejoin with the main fleet and wait for your breach?
So I'll tell her the plan of the fact that we are splitting into 3. Each group will get a siege breaker. The siege breakers will fire. No, we will probably not be on a siege breaker. We'll be on one of the other ships meant to get in close, so that it's easier for us to reach the breach. The siege breakers will sit a little bit further back, so that they're only taking the fire from the long range weapons of the tower, not all the other weapons as well.
Okay. Then she tells you we will meet again in a day or so. Rendezvous on one of the larger ship, one capable of taking a bit of a beating and actually being able to deliver you to the tower. The various heroes are going to split also. Do you want any of them on the ground helping the various group attacking? Or do you want them all on ships waiting for a moment to get inside?
No, I mean, you guys might change. I honestly think we should just keep the ground forces and air forces separate.
No, I mean the heroes. Do you want some heroes to
heroes.
join the groups?
The only heroes that I think would actually be able to help the groups on the ground would be the mages. Because they could provide some forms of protection. I think the other heroes would be better utilized as to assault the breach once it happens.
Okay.
But if any of the mages want to join the groups to provide basically large-scale shielding and protection, or if they send out like a swarm of drones or something and can use large area of effect spells, I would offer it up to them if they want to go reinforce the ground forces. But it's their choice, because I think the ground forces are going to be more dangerous.
Well, Sierra would probably say that her talents are probably going to be more useful on an open field, being an archer and all.
Okay.
And of course, if Sierra is going somewhere, Bertrand is going the same way. The mages agree. Seeing as how you have 4 heroes wishing to join the open field. Well, 2 of them acknowledging that, yeah, they can probably help with the cover, and 2 who feel their talent is at their best on an open field. That could possibly cover everything. Sachet attacking with the population from Mid-Sal. Any advice on the 2 of the group? Who do you want to attack from Low Sal, and who do you want to attack from High Sal? The mage or the archer?
I think probably the mage from Losal. Because the archer's going to be more with the... Because if we put the archer more with just the larger group of civilians, they can just blend in more and kind of use stealth, hit, and run taxes, where the mage with the Shades group, which is probably going to be a little bit more committed to the assault, can provide more protection.
Okay. Alright, so fast ship are being redeployed to get those group where they should be. So Sierra and Bertrand are attacking with the population. The mage with the guild. And Sachet with the rebels.
Well, I thought the rebels were going to be Oh, the rebels, not the other group.
Most of the population is going to attack from Mid-Sal. The guilds are attacking from Low Sal, and the rebels are going to be attacking from High Sal.
Okay, so I'd want to send the mage to High Sal then, and then the archer to where the rebels are attacking from.
Okay.
I think that's what we're talking about, yeah. I got confused with what island.
Okay. Well, it's probably just easier to say the population, the rebel, and the guilds. I'll assign them where they should be.
Yeah. Basically.
So, Sachet with the population, the archer with the rebels, and the mage with the guilds?
Yes.
Okay. 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 It is noted. After a day and a half, Sarn communicates with you. He looks at the orb. You see him in his normal shape. You think he's on a beach somewhere. That was a fascinating conversation. They have quite an interesting ecosystem. It is going to redefine what I was planning to do.
I must destroy the whole island now.
Everything must go.
It's a fire sale.
Sinks it all into the sea.
There you go.
Damn.
Now everything is back in balance.
Yeah.
All done. No. Sarn says the sea serpent go everywhere in the world, and they're a part of the ecosystem. If we remove them, then the world's ecosystem is going to go through a very unpleasant upheaval. But the sea serpent depends on the nourishing elements of magic in the mist in order to grow this large. We can't shut the mist down. That's going to require a lot of attention and a lot of research. But I think you're more interested in their answer than in what needs to be done. They agree to let the human barges go unimpeded in the ocean for the next 5 days only.
That works with us.
Very well. Is there a place you need me to be now?
If you're interested in the portal itself, I would suggest potentially going with the Naftans, as it's their plan to go below and go that, and that would be with Tisul as well.
Ah, he is here. Then I will contact him immediately. And I will... Yes.
You might have to work out a... I know they want to shut off the mist to stop the undead, so you might need to speak with them around your worries around some of the ecological changes, but I'm sure you, Tisul, and the Naftans can work something out together.
Naftan can be stubborn people. But you're right. This will most likely be the better place for me to be.
They can be, but I think both of you care about nature. I think they just think about it maybe a little bit differently, but I know you both care about how the island turns out, so I'm sure you can find common ground.
I think we can all agree that the islands would be better without the mage tower. That might be an impressive undertaking to be done in the future. For now, let's try to restore some balance to this place. And he just cuts the conversation there.
Excuse me
All right.
while I work on my tan.
Yeah.
At least 7 times in the last 2 days, you either have to dodge Nia or face her relentless questioning on where is Calm going to be.
I'll just tell her with the group attacking from High Sal, correct?
High-Sal is not the population. They're attacking from Mid-Sal, the island of
Mid
undead.
Sal, yes. Attack. I'll just tell her attacking from Mid Sal.
And is she gonna be there?
Yes, she's leading the army from that point. It would be weird if she wasn't.
Fine, then. See, that wasn't too painful to answer. You didn't need to always dodge my arrival.
Nope.
I promise it's not about you. We've been very busy doing a lot of things.
Uh-huh. That's why you've been doing everything you can to keep that horn demoness away from me, huh?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say about the size of a woman's horn.
The way she answers, she just looks at you and says, "Uh-huh. Yeah." And then she walks away. With your high insight, you sort of can tell that she's not sure what you meant. But she didn't want to admit it.
That's the goal, guys. All you have to do is confuse her, and that will give Colin more than enough time to
Run away.
All right. Time moves forward. Sarn gives the signal that he's in position. A few hours later, the Naftan through to Sul. Sachet, Denirsa, and Bertrand all gives you the sign that they're moving into position. They're going to be there in roughly maybe an hour and a half. The seas are calm. It's helping. The population is using barges. Not the fastest thing and not the most resilient of things, but it's what's easy to find. Denirsa tells you that the guild have proper ships that they have remarked and re-identified as refueling ships. And they're using that to get to the island. They've already left yesterday. They're going to be there about in a day. the guilds, not the guilds, the rebels have made an impressive small fleet of stolen ships, mostly maintenance ships, fast, agile, capable of delivering large quantity of material very fast. They're going to be in position in a few hours, so one way or the other. Tomorrow at the same time, everyone's going to be in place. Zal warns you that from the perimeter, it's still going to take them several hours at their highest speed to reach the island in the middle. So the enemy is going to know that you're coming several hours before. Or you can decide to coordinate things so that the ground force attacks first and hope for the best that they can last several hours for all of the ships to arrive, which you're not extremely confident is doable.
Yeah, nah, I'm not. I don't want to do that.
So all that's left is to determine who attacks when. The next day, when morning comes, there's a sense of dread that falls on all of your shoulders. As if you've missed something. Maybe it's the mists influencing your mind. Maybe it's just that there are so many moving parts right now that it's difficult to make sure that everything's going according to plan. Can always put some markers here. So we're gonna have several fleets attacking like this. Why not? Something on the map. So you wait for the last signal of everyone being ready. It comes roughly at noon. The ships have been traveling for hours now. You're almost sure that the mage has seen, 3 fleets of over 30 ship each coming his direction.
No.
Various size.
He slept in. He's just waking up.
3 larger one stopping a long way off. The siege breakers are in position several miles away from the tower. The other ones are still pushing at maximum speed. The barge, the ships, and the stolen ships and the refitted ships are all into position, arriving at the base of the tower. Normally they're supposed to ask for permission to go in, but they're just going to try and force their way in. Sarn was right. The sea serpent did not attack the barges, did not attack the transports. Creating a very peaceful and calm ocean. bit mesmerizing as you notice that the sea serpent may not have attacked the ships, but they're anticipating the ship falling from the skies. You can see them swimming under the ocean in circle around the ships, just like vultures waiting for a ship to fall from the sky to tear it apart and eat the juicy bits inside. So, when do you give the order?
Well, Fisher, you're the admiral. You got it. You're gonna give the order.
Commodore Fisher, the flying fish wants to know when the order is to come.
It sounds like everybody's ready.
Audience, give the command. Fisher, give the command.
Now, go. Fire.
Go.
Bombs away.
All right, so the thing I want to know is, does everything attack at the same time, or you start long range, then the barge arrive, then all of your ships arrive, then the Naftan arrives?
Yeah, I think everybody is going in at the same time and is engaging at the range they can as soon as they can.
All right.
To provide, I guess, as many targets to the defenses at the same time without letting
the
them
attack. All right.
pick
So
people off into the building.
the attack begins from your ship, following the one of the siege breaker. You detach and you leave the ship behind. You start seeing those impulse of energy being fired from the ships. Going into the right direction. The tower itself stands very tall, very dark, very imposing. When the first few bolts of energy hits the tower, the shimmer of the barrier erupts. And something that is not supposed to happen happens. Some shot seems to curve and miss the tower. Some hit, but some don't. The tower has some sort of protection preventing direct hit. Some way of deflecting partial energy. As soon as the defenses of the tower are hit, you notice large dots of energy forming and starting to attack. They return fire. One aimed on each of the siege breaker. Fortunately, siege breaker are a bit more advanced in arcane development, and they too have countermeasures. But they do not have the same amount of protection as the tower has. They do not have the same amount of generators. You start hearing from the chatter, which has been left open on the ship that you're in right now. Siege breakers are starting to take fire. They're returning fire. And by the time you arrive at the tower, everything is lighting up in the sky. Some shots are missed and go into the ocean. Some hit the tower. Some go directly to the ground. At the bottom of all of this The ship arrives, and immediately the multitude of ballistas of the tower all come to life. Hundreds upon hundreds of them starts firing. The ship return fire immediately when they're in range. The barrier is continuously being hit by arcane bolts of various type of energy. It is both beautiful, Remy, and terrifying as you see this battle of color, but also there is so much energy being thrown in the sky, in the air, that the moment that you prepare yourself to go where you need to go on the ship for when a breach appears, there is an opening on the outside meant to be there, but you feel the arcane energy out. Just like the electricity after a storm, there's so much firepower being thrown everywhere that it just stagnates in the air. You can feel it, you can smell it, you can probably taste it. The ship that you're on is hit once, twice. You hear chatter from the comm stating that several ships have been heavily damaged. The fight has only been lasting for a minute or so, and already your fleet is starting to feel the bulk of the counterattack of the tower. You hear someone on the comm saying, there's no way that this fleet can possibly create a breach in the barriers. There's just too many barrier generator. They just keep rotating, they just keep changing, rebalancing themselves. You hear the captain, the true commodore of the fleet, giving the order to focus fire so that a tear forms somewhere. This is what they are going to be aiming for. You also hear another ship saying that troops have started to land at the base of the tower. Some of this artillery firing on the ship starts aiming downward and pelting them with energy bolt meant to go through armor, through ships having armor plate and barrier, just hitting the ground, sending so many people flying in the air. You hear a passing comment that it is horrible. It's as if it is raining blood down there. After maybe 3 or 4 minutes of this, of hearing people screaming, of hearing the ship reporting damage, you start hearing some ships are going down. One ship screamed that the barrier is down, their barrier is down, their barrier is down. And you hear people screaming in the intercom. But finally, after another 2 minutes, you hear someone, there's a tear starting to form. Get ready, we are going to be using breach enhancers. You're not gonna go on small ships. We're gonna try to relocate you directly in the tower.
Right.
Oh. After another minute or so, your ship is being hit violently. It starts shaking and there are minor explosions everywhere. But you hear someone saying, "We've gotta go, we gotta go. There's a tear forming. Lower level of the tower. I'm sorry, guys, but you gotta go with this. I'm not even sure this ship is going to be able to keep fighting for long.
That's fine. Is Core with us, or is he in a separate ship?
He's in a separate ship. You did not specifically ask him to be on
That's
your
fine.
ship.
I know he knows that he has to get on the tower, so I assume he'll go for the tear anyway.
As you are being prepared, you see small groups of people. They were able to gather maybe 100 or so troops outside in the time that you gave them. 5 or 6 people are trying to join with you before going. They say, we're going to be going first. That way we can draw a little bit of attention. As soon as you get in, duck. Apparently there's a lot of people inside. And you see them disappear. A moment later, the walls around you start buckling and there are explosions everywhere. But you are not teleported. It's more like a dimensional door, what they're using. But you are shoved inside as explosions everywhere around you. Just erupts. You're not sure what happened to the ship you were on. But when you arrive, it is hell on wherever you are right now. The groups that teleported before you is already dead, and you teleport in the middle of 50 Enforcer. There's blood everywhere, on the walls, on the floor, bits and pieces of those people just scattered everywhere.
Alright.
Well, fuck.
To fight those, because I'm not gonna make you fight 50 people separately, it's swarm logic. They're in groups of 5. And you're all in close quarters, so unless you plan on being able to teleport to a different point in the room, you've basically just materialized in the middle of a small room surrounded by enemy who just slaughtered the first group. And you're there. You don't know if there's supposed to be others joining your position or if that's going to be it.
Trying to remember the enforcer. How? Trying to remember how strong these guys are.
So Mill-E's are the basic troops everywhere. They have very limited intelligence, but there can be a lot of them. However, you would agree that you can probably kill most of them relatively easily right now. Civ-E's, same model of Civ, are a bit more resilient. And Mar-E's, those you've only that one you've only seen one, and you know they're there to command. They're very intelligent. In terms of, you don't know exactly how many hit points they have, but if you want to have a measure that is different than just me saying, oh, you can probably just kill them, a little bit of a meta element. The mill E's are probably below 50 hit point. The Civ E's are probably somewhere between 75 and 100. And the Mar E's, well, you've only seen one. You don't know, but it's not hard to guess that they're above 100 hit point each.
What's the layout of this room?
It's a portion of a donut. Slightly curved. Doors at the extremities. Doors where the donut is small, where the radius of the donut is smaller. You think, judging by this, that you're probably close to the edge. But you don't see any ballistas in your room, meaning that you're not directly on the wall, on the outside wall.
How far is it to the doors?
20 feet, maybe.
20 feet? Okay.
Judging from all of the crates around, you're guessing it's probably something like munition storage to keep the ballistas well fed in energy.
Okay. Guess or no, it's a munition storage, because that could matter. Like, are there explosives in here or not?
You can't be sure. It's an educated guess, and it's probably more Fisher that has that thought. This looks like a munition room for arcane ballistas.
Okay.
So it seems like this would be the place that munitions would be, but I'm not seeing. There aren't any crates.
They're crates. There are crates. You're just not.
Yeah, but there's nothing that's like danger, high explosives
No.
on the outside. No red barrels.
You mean the red barrels that are extremely easy to identify and just scream, explode me? No. No, they aren't red barrels. One problem with this tower is that it's been uninhabited for so long that there's no labeling needed anymore. The machines know the machines know where everything is, and they're the one keeping this in order. So you're just facing a whole bunch of blank crates. But judging from the sound, judging from their placement, easy to access, easy to take, easy to drag to the doors of this room, you're, I'd say, more than 70% sure that these are arcane cores, various type of arcane cores, the essential part allowing an arcane ballista to fire a variety of bolts of energy.
Are we rolling initiative for the I assume they're just rolling as one group because you're not rolling initiative for 50 of them. But
yeah, I'm rolling for the entire group, but like I said, they are in groups of 5s.
okay, I'm gonna roll. First of all, let me roll initiatives.
A great start.
Mine's okay. 17's decent initiative.
All
Better
right.
than 9.
And the big question is, was Arunak deployed or not?
I assume we would deployed him before the fight.
Alright, so... But... Is Terry there?
Yeah.
I'd be in his box. I don't know if he's out of his box.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he...
Terry's here. You're out.
Alright, so Terry has a... Algonak has a... Remy has a what?
$15.
Oh, audience is going first.
Alright. Fisher, you said you had
9.
9. And audience?
17.
Alright. So... I'm gonna leave you the choice because of the time. I don't know who is busy tomorrow and who needs to go to bed and who's about to fall asleep, so it's better if they go to bed. It's gonna be a slugfest all the way to the top of the tower. Like I said, I don't plan on making you fight individual. It's group fight. But it's still a fight. So, do you want to end this here today and start next episode with the entire fight, including, hopefully, the final fight of this tower? Or do you want to go a few rounds?
I'm fine doing this room, but I wouldn't want to go past it. But
Okay.
Yeah.
also-
Yeah.
Zachary, also okay?
So that should be okay for the time being.
Okay. Then the enemies goes first with a 21.
all right.
All right. Could be interesting to have a little bit of representation. Audience here, Remy here, Fisher here. At least I'm gonna be able to describe a little bit. Almanac. Terry on Fisher's shoulder. So 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay, so in front of you, you have... I'm using the gray map, because like I said, I didn't have time to create the curved room. It's harder than I thought, creating curved room in Dungeon Alchemist.
Herbs don't like squares.
They added the possibility to create curved room, but it's more like circular room, small circular room, and not huge, large-scale donut that are supposed to be, I don't know, 300 feet wide. So, we're gonna go.
We can't do the map in case you did.
No, I know. All right. So, gonna have to do. What the heck happened? Okay. Gonna have to do this like this. We're gonna go like this one and this one. Oops, that turned everyone off. Okay. Oh, come on. And guess we're gonna go with this, and I'm gonna update it, take pictures of it at regular intervals for you to be able to follow. And on Wednesday, you're just gonna see the map anyway. So, all right. So, this is a bit how it looks right now. So you can imagine the donut. The larger side is below you and at T, and just imagine a portion of the donut making a smiley face. The shorter radius beginning at G, probably 7. Meaning that the orange one, the orange one is close to the wall. All right. Ah, that's annoying. Why is it doing this now? Okay, good. All right. So, no, I don't need this one. It's this one that I need. Okay. This one attacks you. This one attacks here. This one attacks here. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. And this one goes here. Leader goes like this. Meaning this, when they start attacking, is your new battle map. Did it work? Yes, it did work. Cool. Alright. Swarm attack, meaning that Fisher and audience, you will take 9 points of damage. No, sorry, not just one. They're attacking from everywhere. So Fisher has 2. Okay, Fisher has 2. So Fisher, 18 points of damage. Audience, same thing. It's 1 out of 20 that can hit, and groups of 5 have a total of 20 attacks. Remy, your armor class is 19?
20.
20? Alright. 20.
It went up when we did the armor trade outs.
Alright. Meaning that a group of 10 attacker and their grand total of 40 attacks on you generate a total of 27 points of slashing damage.
I'm assuming I can shield that to reduce it because
It's going
I'm
to
not
reduce it
taking
to
20 odd damage.
It's going to reduce it to 18 points of damage if you do so.
This is gonna be a slog, so I'm just gonna try to reduce the amount of hit points I'm losing.
Okay.
Yep.
Then 80 points of damage. So basically, because it's a swarm, and because they're all there, you're actually surrounded by 50 of them. Not 50. 35, I think.
35.
Yeah. They take a lot more space, and they move a lot. But you each take a grand total of about 40 attacks in this round. And like I said, Fisher, you all take 18 points of damage from those 40 attacks because of your stupid high AC.
Oh, I forgot to add my temp. So I'm going to reduce 11 of that. So I have the shield back. Okay.
Audience. Go, go, go.
Yes. You said the door was 20 feet away?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where?
There's... I'm gonna say doors.
I also forget, can enforcers be charmed or no? They couldn't be, I think. I remember from dialing because they're robots, right? Because they have no... I can't remember if enforcers have immunity to charms.
No, they're construct. And the ones that are in front of you are... Well, you know, average intelligence. But... No, last time you could not charm them, frighten them, and paralyze them. Those are the conditions that you know it doesn't work on them.
Okay.
Fisher can probably assume that poison doesn't work also because they're machines.
Okay. Audience is going to say, follow me, and I'm going to take, if they choose to use their reaction this way, opportunity attacks to reach the door 20 feet away, go through it and hold an action to use a breath weapon on them and the crates in the room once my party leaves after following me.
So,
I don't know how many groups, it'd probably be one-sided groups that I'd be taking the opportunity attacks from, because I'm going towards one of the doors.
you know, I placed the doors a little too far off. I said 20 feet, and they're not 20 feet away to move right now, so... So, here. Alright. Gotta remain true to what I just said, otherwise it's... Alright. So yeah, you're gonna want to... 3
I
groups.
assume... Yeah, 3 groups.
Which means you take 27 points of slashing damage. Because it's a whole lot of attack. But they can only hit you on a natural 20, so each group only gets to hit you once.
Yep, 27. I will take that.
Alright, well, you know. They literally went first, so each one of you can easily do the same thing.
If you follow audience, they already used the reaction, so I took the damage for you guys. They don't get 2 opportunity attacks.
The next one would be Remy. Remy, keeping track, 2 of the 2 groups are going to be able to attack you as you try and leave. But 3 groups have already used their attack, so...
The stream ended, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like,
Oh,
way to go.
oh.
Where's my
Hold on.
map?
I think I also made a modification to the.
Because I will say it would depend which way, because I would have been particularly trying to go towards the groups where I knew Remy and Orinak would not have to take opportunity attacks if they left, and Fisher might from behind, because you said there were doors on each side, knowing that he is tankier than our rogue and healer.
Okay. It is possible to.
I didn't have the map, so.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It is possible to.
Because I think Remy was on the left of me, so I think I could have gone through those groups, and then those were the groups next to him, and I think he then wouldn't have had to take those opportunity attacks to leave, because he was further to the right. I was in the middle of everyone.
He's a rogue, so always.
I mean, he could bonus action. I know he can bonus action disengage, but it was more for Orinak. It's really where Orinak's placed.
Yeah, I'm having.
Slow tree, man.
I'm having difficulty closing the window.
I believe that you can take the damage, Fisher. I have faith in you.
What's happening? I can't close the window.
What window?
Well, the window where there's supposed to be the image.
Oh.
It doesn't want to close.
Is there a pop-up that is hidden behind your...
No. I
Got
couldn't
it.
close it, but I could change it. So, we're gonna go with that.
Okay, so I went up through, so I was in the middle, so I took that group and those two.
Yeah, you took the one that was next to you, so there was one at P 11 that you took. You took the one at N 10 and N 9. But if you want to have it taken the detour and also taken the one at 09, you can add 9 more damage. And
09,
that's
how much?
9
No, 'cause
more
I-
slashing damage.
No, Orinak, because he'll do group healing. No, it's fine. Orinak can take 9. That's fine. I'll keep my action. I'll keep my action the same, because Remy can just bonus action disengage anyway, so he won't take it, and then Fisher will just have to take some. But is what it is.
So, just to be clear, how big is this room that audience just went into?
The one that
I
you're
just went to the doorway that was 20 feet away.
the black cube are where the door are. So, audience, 20 feet of movement is right next to a door.
I would have opened the door because I want to leave the room.
They're open door. It's not a closed door.
They're open doors. Okay, so then yes, audience technically is standing in the doorway,
All right, so that means
or we'll
25
say for action of movement to the side of the doorway. So
And Remy is at 09.
When you say open door, is there a door and it's open, or is this just like an open doorway with no door at all?
Right now, it looks like an open doorway. Maybe there's a way to close them, but that would be in a
There's
control
not a
room
visible
somewhere.
door. Okay.
yeah,
Well, Raimi will go ahead and do the bonus action disengage and run through to the doorway, but so I can do something a bit more productive with my action, I'm going to hold a web spell for if they happen to survive whatever is going to happen, if anything happens at all, and start trying to rush the door.
Okay.
That way, it will not only limit their movement, but also even prevent some of the attacks they can make, especially if they start getting stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fisher?
Am I before Oranak?
Yes. Arunak has 2 for initiative.
Of course he does. Can he? Yeah. He's got like 20. What's his move speed? Like 25.
25. He's got just enough
Just
to reach
enough.
the door.
Alright. So I don't have to help him. You would only take one group.
You'd only take one group, yeah.
Right. I don't want to take 3 groups, so I'm gonna Misty Step.
You would only take 2 groups. One attacked audience.
But you could just Misty Step also, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna. Or wait, because then I wouldn't be able to cast it.
Yeah, I was thinking you hold action to Fireball with audience, but I don't know if you can do that if you Misty Step.
I can't if I Misty Step.
It's only 18 points of damage.
Yeah, I think I'll just take it.
Alright, 18 points of slashing damage as you try to make your way through all of those unit trying to attack you.
Inferior models.
Yeah, it's not inaccurate. It's the base model of Civ, but... Alright.
No, I'll probably have a Fireball.
And Arunak comes, you are all gathered in front of the door, and you...
I'd say to the
Boom.
side of the door, like so we're not in the room when the explosion goes off.
Alright, Remy, you might have to yank Arunak outside, because he used 25 feet of movement to get to the door.
Could he dash?
Does Oranak not have an action to dash?
Well, yeah, but he thought that he might need to heal you.
He
but-
can do that later.
Yeah. Gotta get out now.
Would say I'd
Okay,
rather
okay,
him not
okay.
take the 10 billion points of damage from potentially being in this room.
Okay. Fine then. He's not gonna do what he's designed to do, and he's gonna let you do your little explosion thing.
Alright, once Oranak leaves the room, audience is going to use his breath weapon.
Alright. Well, that's
And
quite
then-
easy to take. To hit.
Yeah. I was
Easy.
specifically, honestly, more aiming for the crates with the arcane orbs of explosion, because I remember how much those potentially arcane orbs of explosion. Because if one of those goes off, I assume it's going to set off a chain reaction if all these crates have them, but.
Okay, and at the same time, Fisher, you
Fireball.
fireball everything. Remy, do you have something that you want to add to this firework?
No, my specific action I already stated. It's like, in case they survive and start trying to rush the door, that's when the web is going up to limit their attack proficiency.
Alright. Fisher, your fireball damage.
Oh, let me roll my. I don't think it's gone up.
Fireball. Ugh.
7d10.
Rewind. 26.
Okay.
And I have 39.
Why is my calculator? Oh, okay.
Hopefully these crates don't have more than 75 HP.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay. Fortunate in your unfortunateness. Okay. You breathe into that room and you ignite a fireball, trying to hit as many of those crates as possible, hoping that there is going to be a chain reaction. The next moment is a moment that, if you survive this, you're gonna look at from your future and say, my god, were we stupid. It works. One of the several crate warps and break and trigger an explosion. One after the other, they all start exploding. It creates a blast, a roar, so intense that you are completely deafened. All you hear after that explosion is beep. The floor shakes as everything is exploding. You realize that you might have underestimated the explosive potential of what was in that room, because the room is transformed into molten metal everywhere. Fortunately, the wall have rolled a natural 20 on its save. The wall survives, but there is a column of fire that erupts from the door and into the corridor, and you see just this river of molten metal that just spreads a little bit from the two doors leading out and stops moving. The wall is warped. It's warm to the point of you just raising your hand and ooh. Good thing we weren't inside of that room. There's no survivor in the room.
That was the plan.
You're lucky the wall rolled a natural 20. The crates rolled a 3 on their save, so they all started to explode one after the other. The doors rolled an 8, so they all melted and exploded, but the walls held. Hallelujah.
Alright.
I mean, maybe Raby would have survived. I don't know.
Yeah, by shoving Fisher in front of you, just like the undead. Shit!
Audience would have also survived. Probably. Alright. Oh, good room, guys. Good first room.
I think the enemy knows we're here.
I think they already did, though. If they
I
literally
think they
had,
did.
if they literally had over 50 guys right there at the entrance, but that's maybe just me, though.
Yep.
Probably just you.
I think audience would give a call on the orb and be like, room off the breach is clear. Might be a little bit hot, though.
Give it a minute to cool down.
Yeah.
Don't send people in that room for the next 10 minutes? 10 minutes.
Oh, I don't know. Hold on. I got this. Decanter of endless water.
I do think the they're like looking at it. They're like, people if they were about to open this terror, like, yeah. They can see
It's like create like a neat little pathway. It's like
yeah. I think we definitely made talk about an entrance with a bang. I think probably the entire battlefield heard that.
Yeah.
They felt that.
Yeah. You did just blow up an entire ammunition storage.
Hey, that means they can't use it against us.
It's true.
Yeah, but it also they also have several dozens of them, so
Yeah. Anyway,
moving on.
Lord.
anyway, we probably have a moment because I probably didn't accept that. Audience is gonna drink his potion of invisibility that he's been holding on to this whole campaign.
Okay.
Are we trying to stealth it?
I think this would be our only moment to attempt to stealth it. They're all gonna know we're coming from this way, but hey, man, we can try.
Well, I didn't prepare the spell invisibility, but I do have my potion.
Yeah,
But I can't do anything for Oranak.
I think. Well, it depends how much. This is our
I
second. We have to
can-
use here. Can we cast invisibility on him?
Because I can cast invisibility on Ornak, and then I already have an item that lets me be invisible.
Yep, and you have invisibility. So let's fucking go for it. Fuck it.
Down the hat. Let's try it.
Invisible party.
See if it works.
It's like never hurts to try.
Yeah.
Well, it can't hurt to try, but
Listen, it was either fight all our way up anyway. If this lets us skip some rooms, it's a win.
Yeah.
definitely. So, Fisher, you shove Terry in a pocket.
Try and fail. Yeah.
You shove
So
Terry in a
well.
pocket. You turn invisible. Audience turn invisible. Remy turns Ornak invisible, and then turn himself invisible.
Just flips the eye patch over one eye. I will keep reminding the party that it is an eye patch of invisibility.
Oh, how much damage did you take, Fisher?
Don't do anything.
Well,
Nothing. No, but
You
this
you
is
took
before.
18 as you were leaving.
This is
Yeah,
before.
yeah, but don't do anything because you're gonna drop invisibility if you do.
No, I meant before. This is happening before.
Okay.
I'm not. I know how the. Yeah. I know my boat.
36.
36. And Remy, how much did you take?
18.
Okay. I'm just gonna do this now because it's not gonna be that useful. It's gonna be all combat. Fisher healed 20. Remy heal 16 off of my lay on hands.
Dutch, let's go.
Yep.
Well, Ornak lost 9.
Yep. Oganax. Okay, he can heal himself.
You can heal yourself.
I'm gonna try and save 10 long rest HP if we
Okay.
really, really need it left.
Okay, that's okay. Ornak
We also did bring
understand.
potions and all the other good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ornak
I
understands.
spent almost all my money. Remaining money.
Right.
I mean, around the point when Ornak starts taking damage, we're probably going to be damaged enough where he could probably get away with doing a mass cure wounds on everybody,
Or
including
even
himself.
like,
Yeah.
or even like a heal or something. But
All right.
Let's hope it doesn't reach that point. But
yeah. All right. Well, the invisible party moves on.
All right. You all turn invisible. All right. This is the perfect moment to use it. It allows you to skip
Maybe they'll think we
waves.
blew up in that explosion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's a good point. If we all turn invisible right after that explosion, and there are no witnesses from that room, they might just be
And
like.
it's not like
"Everyone
there's
blew up."
evidence there.
it's like,
There's
and two of us can't
just-
even make noise with our steps.
Yeah.
It is true.
All right. So
I am now about to fall asleep though. So
I
We did
noticed.
say that. We did say that room. We
I
did
said
the
I'm
room.
good to go, and then 5 minutes later, my body was like, "What? What do you mean? No, we're going to sleep."
And guys, don't worry. We still have the bomb. We saved it. We can still use the bomb.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Don't forget about
know.
the bomb, guys. That we've been holding the whole campaign as well.
we really want to get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out, though. I think it'd be funnier if the campaign ended and the bomb was never used.
You see, I was kind of waiting for our last attack of the entire campaign to be the bomb, where we like drop it on whatever the final boss
Well,
is.
the real problem with the bomb is I don't know if we can set it off.
It takes cold to set it
It
off?
takes
Yeah.
cold damage.
It needs to take
I
1
can-
point of cold damage.
I can do Cone of Cold from my Wand of Power. That is the
Yeah, I think
only
that's
cold
it.
damage I can do.
I think that's it. I think that's it. I don't think we have any other. I'm looking through my spells.
I guess I could throw my
Well,
Rockshin Blood Vial.
hold on. Yep.
That does cold damage.
If you actually just want to do that, I think. Ooh, that could be interesting. It's in what book? Sorcerer, page 65.
Transmute spell.
Yeah.
That
If
would
ca-
actually. Does that let you? I'm trying to remember. Does that let you change any type into?
That's what I'm trying to look at.
If I recall correctly, it lets you change any spell's damage type of like the normal elemental types into any one of the other ones.
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, thunder. And it would be Terry. Well, he's got lightning bolt. He could transmute it into a ice bolt.
Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be it for tonight. I'm gonna go to the where is it? My campfire. Because I can't end the stream without the campfire. Alright, so here we go. That is it for tonight. So, thank you for stopping by. Oh yeah, that's right. That's one of the episodes that's only going to be found on YouTube. So, you found it because you were actually looking for it. So, hope you found whatever it was you were looking for. Hope it was a pleasant, whatever time it was, wherever you are in the world. Even on YouTube, I have links for everything, so you can help us with Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Well, if you're watching this, you're on YouTube, so Patreon, and I even have the link for donation. Only donate if you can afford it. I forgot. All right, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Wednesday, because we're continuing this on Wednesday. Keep going up the tower, and hopefully an invisible party will be able to get all the way to the top without any problem whatsoever. Because that's how it happens. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
You find a clever way to get all the way through all of the enemies without having to fight them, and nothing happens. You just get there, and that's it. It's done.
Well, it's not
We're
done.
just that good.
I guarantee you the wizard can see us. It's just, can we get to the wizard? Or one of the high-end units.
Yeah.
It's just about getting by the grunts.
Yeah. All right.
Basically.
So, you'll get your answer in a few days if you watch this as it was released. No, actually, if I'm gonna try and release it. Anyways, that's right. That's probably gonna be released on next Monday. It's gonna be weird, but yeah. If you're watching all of this on YouTube, there's not gonna be the problem. It's just you're all gonna have it. All right, so thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.